all single in a relationship. Poke, 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 like, single, single in a relationship. No longer in a relationship.
In a relationship.
Engaged, engaged.
Facebook is helpful when you're feeling fat. You can find old frenemies in 2 seconds flat and engage them right away with an instant chat and say, I thought I was fat, but you are fatter.
I thought I was fat, but you are fatter. And those are reasons we think Facebook's evil and also
Farmville. One thing though,
it's just in, the train wrecked.
You gotta hold that a little higher. We're gonna try to turn to a more serious topic. I'm gonna try to be more like 60 minutes. I am afraid Larry though, or who we're talking about, knows, he's got like his black belt in karate, jiu-jitsu, something like that. So I'm a little afraid to go out, but I can throw Kurt in front of me.
You're jealous of Alicia. She's getting what you want.
That's a little funny. I'll give you that.
Sensitive area.
No, I think it's funny. Anyway, yeah, my wife, though, thought Larry was better looking when he had his more hair, though. But he shaved it. It was some kind of ritual.
She's into his back hair, right? Your wife?
Oh, I don't think she's seen it. I thought you had my wife with my mother at one point. That was one of your comments or something. I don't know. Wasn't that funny? Anyway, we got to like change again. Like we're acting. Okay, okay. We have Ellen.
Try and concentrate.
Nevins here. Ellen, this is a serious Toll Brothers, a house that she bought, and let's just say the American dream turned into American nightmare. And Ellen, can you give us the background, concisely, of course?
I went to contract on the house in '95.
In Montgomery Township.
In Montgomery Township because of major glitches in Toll's operations. It took 2 years to get in. I found out after I closed that Toll rewards its contractors for bringing in houses early.
This is the fact. You got to stick to the facts. Okay.
I have that on tape from an employee, and several other people have also come into that information on their own. The house is so flawed from the basement floor to the roof that, with the exception of those engineers employed by Toll Brothers, every engineer who has seen it has said that the only way to solve the problems with this house is to tear it down and rebuild it.
Let's give a background check. You talked about the warranty. You went in here and you told me earlier in the green room that you'd done more research on what, looking into buying other things as opposed to this house.
I unfortunately thought I was dealing with a reputable builder. I went into Consumers Reports whenever I bought a car, whenever I bought a refrigerator, whenever I bought any kind of appliance or electronics, and I did not do my homework when I bought a house.
So, okay, now continues. Now the litigation begins. What's happening?
Toll, they have done everything in their power to drag it out and make it so expensive that I have to give up and go away. This is what they are doing to people all over this country. I have spent more than $400,000 on legal fees. If there's a motion they haven't filed, I don't know what it is. And they're doing this to people all over the country. I talked to someone just Wednesday night in Michigan who has a very similar situation. 3 young kids. He spent $150,000 on lawyers so far. He's out his life savings. And there are thousands of people all over the country in the same situation.
Toll Brothers is a national company?
20 states or 21 states.
Mm-hmm. So what happened first? What was the first court case appeal?
We actually had a settlement in 2004, but Toll found out that settlement was going to end up costing them $981,000. So they got it thrown out. Mm-hmm. They filed a motion and got it thrown out. I think they thought they would get me to accept lesser terms, and when they couldn't, they then went back to the same judge and asked him to enforce the very settlement he had thrown out 7 months earlier.
Which was less money?
No, this was...
981.
That was 2 years ago.
Okay.
And the judge actually did a complete flip-flop and enforced the very settlement he had thrown out, except he then rewrote it and changed the amount I could get, changed the circumstances under which I could get it, just rewrote the entire settlement
I'm a little confused. So you had there was a settlement he threw out. You got a settlement you liked, and then Toll Brothers said it was too much money.
Yeah.
So it got thrown out, and then the judge went back to a previous settlement.
He tried to.
Right. So this is very unorthodox. What did your lawyer say
think
about
so.
this? What did your lawyers have to say about this, judge, doing this?
It was very unorthodox. Every lawyer I have spoken to has said, this is the most bizarre lawsuit they've ever heard of.
That a judge revisits a settlement he threw out and rewrites it. Oh,
He
interesting.
tried to do that. I did not accept it.
What year was this when this all happened?
End of 2008.
I'm just trying to give a chronology. Okay, so what happened after that? You're getting madder. You're not backing down.
Well, I went to the ombudsman in Somerset County. She listened to all the tapes, heard what the judge was doing, and
What's an ombudsman for
it's a
those who don't know?
person who works in our court system as a liaison between you and the court.
Gotcha.
And she listened to every one of the judge's tapes and said she wanted me to come in and fill out a request for the judge to recuse himself. And I did, and he did.
What were the
And
grounds for recusing? That he'd shown unorthodox, what?
I truly believed that,
So A up just a little bit?
I have to word this very carefully.
This is conjecture.
Conjecture.
Well, let's just stick to facts.
Okay.
Okay,
But he did take himself out then?
Yes.
Interesting.
And Judge Ciccone herself handled the case, and I think she's an exemplary judge. And 2 weeks when, 2 weeks, I'm
I'm
sorry.
going to get mad if you don't hold that up. Thank you.
2 weeks from when we were supposed to start trial, it was assigned to a trial judge. Toll filed a motion claiming that my expert witness was not qualified, even though he is one of the most qualified experts in the country to do what he does.
On what, values of a house or right, okay.
And it's now in appeal.
So Toll continues to do like the big corporations, the little person, appeal, and
Drag
go
it
on.
out.
Right, drag it out, drag it
Run
out.
up the costs.
Why won't they give in maybe to you and try to shut you up? Wouldn't that make more sense if you're not going away?
I really think, so few people have really stood up to them, this is kind of uncharted territory for them. There aren't many people who have stood up to Toll Brothers and stayed the course.
Now, Toll Brothers, they also make cookies, right?
No, that's a different,
Okay.
Okay,
I think that the cookies are probably higher quality than their houses.
okay.
So I did read, you talked to a tax assessor. I saw this document where they had to just rule, it was a tax court.
It was tax
on the
court.
value of your house. And you call this a major victory. What was the details of that?
I filed an appeal with Montgomery Township, who absolutely refuses to acknowledge the problems with this house. And they didn't do a thing. They refused to send anybody out to look at the house. So I went to the county and finally went to tax court. The case was tried last October 22nd. I had an engineer there. I had a realtor there.
Expert witness.
Yes,
right.
we showed the judge 150 photos of the house, all the engineer's reports of the house, and he took it all very much to heart and decided that this house is so flawed that the value of the structure itself is $25,000.
Yeah,